everyone, it's Vanessa here, Finding Our Power Together team member. So today I'm going to be going through week 2 with you, which is honoring our values. I will be going through the self-reflection activity and the photo challenge, and later you'll be hearing from Niall, who will speak to the 7 grandfather teachings. So this week's activity includes 3 columns in which you are going to be placing those values, those teachings in one of them. So first, is that value important to you? Is it neutral or not very important to you? Once you've done that, you're going to find the top 3 most important values to you and place them in another column. These columns consist of, do you practice this value consistently? Do you not practice this value consistency? And somewhere in between is the last column. Once you've done that, you're going to go through a series of questions talking about those values. So, is this value important to you and why? If this is a value that you don't practice very often, what are 3 ways that you can begin to practice it? And so forth. Once you've completed this, you're going to do a photo challenge. So this photo challenge can consist of using the collage app on your phone or device, or physically cutting up, text, photos, whatever, to make a collage. This collage will consist of those 3 grandfather teachings that are most important to you. You can use text, photos, whatever you think most represents those values to you. Once you've done that, please make sure to either post on your social media and tag Finding Our Power Together, or send it to us by email so that you can be entered in to win those prizes.
Bonjour, wish conseil magasin, now Johnston. And this week, I guess, I'm going to be talking about the 7 grandfather teachings, or as I was taught in the language, Niishwaswi Mishomiisaag. And I just wanted to, take this moment to acknowledge, I guess, my teachers and all those wonderful storytellers that have taught me and helped me come to understand these teachings, and also, I guess, honor those beautiful animals from our first family that remind us of these teachings, that remind us through how they navigate the world, what values we should strive for to be more well-rounded, I guess, and more humble and gentler on ourselves. And I guess some people, the way I've heard it too, is that the minute the Matswin, that good path, that good road. And one of my teachers, the way I was taught, was, this was coming from Basil Johnston, was living in harmony, living in balance with creation. When I talk about creation, I talk about that first family and Mother Earth and everything around us. I want to remind everybody out there that it's okay to take your time, and it's okay to stumble or take a break. Take a break if you want, but go at your own pace. The first image, that's how I learn. I love to draw. When I draw them, I kind of retain the information that's presented to me, and I interpret it as I'm drawing it. How does this fit into my being? How does this fit into my spirit and my good mind? The first image I drew was actually the image of a thunderbird, Banana. And to me, the way that I was taught is that eagle carries that teaching of love. And that eagle, through the stories I was taught, it's connected to those thunderbirds, those thunder beings. And sometimes those thunderbirds can shapeshift into those eagles, kind of to keep watch on creation, to make sure that creation is still living in that good way, showing respect to that first mother of creation, under the earth rock. And for the eagle to do this for the people and for creation shows love. It loves the mother so much that every day it'll look out on creation and is just looking for somebody that's trying their best, that just wants to try their best. How do I practice love? how do I practice love? Is I try to just show love. Try to let love lead the way in everything, in my intention. The way I was taught is if you can lead with love, open heart, protected, but open to the possibilities, in a good mind. If I can just speak love today, if I can interpret the information that I'm hearing today in a good way and hear the love in it, think in a way that shows love, then and feel love, then I'll be okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about the next image I drew, and that was respect, the teaching of respect. The image I drew was it's actually a buffalo glyph, and you'll see two figures, two different spirits. They're spirits, and they're reaching out to each other, and they're doing so in such a loving and respectful way. They're respecting that other. They're respecting everything about that other person or that other being. They're actually truly listening. They're trying to empathize. They're showing respect. One of the stories about that teaching of respect comes from the original being walking out west. And on that journey, that original being met the buffalo in the Buffalo Nation. When they got to that great flat land, I guess that we now call the prairies. And the buffalo approached the original being and walked with the original being. There's way more to the story than that. It's a paraphrase. But walked with the original being for some time across those prairies and taught the original being, Nana Bojo, about respect. Passed those teachings. The next teaching that I want to talk about is bravery. Bravery, and some people might call it courage. You might see it as either bravery or courage. To me, showing that bravery or that courage represents that strong heart. When I drew that image, I decided to draw two trees, two goblin dogs, two spruces, two guardians. And what's going on in that image is, yes, there's that bigger tree there that's taking up more space, and that root system is more visible. But don't forget that there's that other little guardian there too. And a lot of what we don't see of those trees is under the earth. It's that root system. And how they take care of one another, how they know that they're family. Those trees will know through that underground network and through the mystery of creation. They can communicate with one another. They can check in on one another. They can be respectful. Empathize. Are you okay? It's like finding our power together. We're not supposed to do this alone. The next image that I drew, I guess, would be that teaching of truth. And the way I was taught, and from the imagery that I've interpreted my whole life, and that I've seen, I use that turtle. And I've drawn that turtle. And on that turtle, you'll see there's a paw print on the back of that turtle. And that paw print is actually a muskrat. It's a muskrat's paw print. That is to honor one of the creation stories, part of the creation story of our people, the Anishinaabe. And there's a time that the world was flooded because the people weren't practicing the Minobamatsuan. Creation wasn't practicing the Minobamatsuan. They weren't living in harmony. They were being disrespectful to one another. They were being disrespectful to the land. And that ultimate love of creation decided to cleanse the land, kind of reboot. And I put that paw print on that turtle's back to represent, I guess, our creation stories. That turtle played a really big part in that story. It loved the people so much, loved creation and its role, that it actually offered its back as a place to set a ball of dirt that the muskrat got from the bottom of the ocean. It sacrificed its back to start that renewal, to start that new home for the Anishinaabe, to try again, try a little harder. And when we look to that turtle, and I guess the attachment to the creation story, and the muskrat, to me that linkage, that thread, is the truth within our creation stories and the truth within these teachings. The next image that I drew was the image of the, I guess, honesty. Honesty is a tough one. I'm still learning about that. How do I be honest to myself? How do I communicate what I need and be okay with that? How do I guess, honestly walk through the Minopamatsuin, or this path of living in balance? How do I walk with integrity? And how can I practice that value? How do I put it into practice every day? To me, it was coming, and I'm still learning about that acceptance. And I guess my gift, that beautiful gift that I received from the stars, and that amazing, I guess, responsibility of carrying that gift and how I'm going to share it. The image I drew was one of those manatos in one of the stories, and this connected again to that Nenebojo story. When Nenebojo got to those mountains, this longer, of course, was actually greeted by that, I guess the word I've been taught is that Niishwaswi, or also known through the way I've been taught, Mishomiisaag, Niishwaswi. Other people, there's stories all over the world of this race of beings, these beautiful beings. Some, I guess, the popular names out there are Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti. There's stories of this nation all over the world that have been captured by storytellers through all different points of time. When I walk through creation with integrity, practicing that value, I'm trying to be loving, to be respectful, to show respect and courage. And not only do I have to show that to myself, but I have to show that to creation around me. How do I act in the land? How do I act to the environment around me? How do I act to that first mother of creation? Am I doing it? Am I being honest with who I am? I'm Migize, that bald eagle. As we learned, Migize carries that teaching of love. How am I walking through creation, showing love to creation? Am I honoring who I am? My spirit, not Niall Johnston. Am I honoring Migize? Wishkose Migize. Am I honoring myself enough to put that outwards into creation? The way I was taught, that Niishwaswi, always watching, will enforce that honesty. And we'll always keep check on the people, on the Anishinaabe, to make sure that they are walking through creation honestly. It's a tough one. Tough one to learn. But it's okay. Like I said, good things, they're not easy. They're not meant to be easy. We gotta put in the work ourselves. The Manitos creation will help as much as possible, but we gotta live in balance. Practice walking in that good way, that good path. The next image that I drew is the teaching of humility. And again, take your time with this one. I'm still learning this one as well. Humility is to know that you are a beautiful, sacred part of creation and that vast family, and to treat everything within that family with love and respect and with courage and truth and wisdom and honesty. It's to know that there is no pyramid, that it's actually a circle, and that everybody has a place within that circle. Somebody's difference, or if they're different, it's not a reason to put up your barriers. That's a great opportunity to learn, to humble yourself, to take a step down off your ladder and truly listen to that beautiful family member that's in front of you. I decided to draw a wolf paw, which alludes to a part of the creation story when Niishwaswi walked the earth with that wolf, with Maingan, naming everything in creation. That Maingan, that wolf, came to Niishwaswi, and together they walked the earth. They walked the earth many times, naming everything in creation. And Niishwaswi learned that feeling from that heart, from that good heart, that feeling of companionship and family, and that Niishwaswi had a place within that family. Humility, like I said, takes a long time to learn. I'm still learning my humility. The last teaching that I drew, and it's not last because it's most important or anything like that, it's just how I was taught, is that teaching or value of wisdom. And wisdom, I guess when I was younger, I would be confusing knowledge and wisdom. You know, with my brain, the way that beautiful way that I'm built, you know, I like to intake a lot of information. I can learn, I guess, very quickly, especially when I draw. And then I would think that, you know what, I know a lot. I don't need to shut my ears to creation, to my family, to my community, to the ancestors. I know enough. And that's when I started really learning about what wisdom is. How do I apply that knowledge through my good brain and my good heart and spirit? How do I turn that into, I guess, a value or a way to walk the Minobumatsu? How do I learn what's the true teachings of all this information? How can I apply that? How can I show, I guess, well, slow down train of thought? How can I really learn and listen to what all that information is telling me? And how do I apply that? And to me, that's wisdom. It took me a while to learn that, and I'm still learning it. I'm not the wisest. You can talk to Nikki. I still make a lot of mistakes, but it's okay, because tomorrow is a new beautiful chance to try to emulate that value and to walk with that value on my journey, on my continued healing journey. Like even today, I've been learning these teachings my whole life, but even today, I knew I woke up this morning and I knew that I was going to have to talk. about these teachings and share a little bit about what I know. Because I've been asked in that good way with tobacco. It was a little gift. And I got really nervous. Right even before filming, I got really nervous and started all that silliness of self-doubt and, what am I going to say? Am I going to mumble? All these little things. And something that really helped me was that is what the Finding Our Power Together team, what we were trying to sort out in the first week. Mindfulness and that activity, that grounding token. Mine was that rock. And I've been holding it this whole time. That grounding token. I've been holding it this whole time. You can feel it. It's hot right now. It's ready to go into the sweat lodge. But I've been just putting my faith and my trust and my love and my understanding of wisdom and my ongoing understanding of truth and humility and respect, all of it. Just trusting in that first teaching of love. Week 1 really helped. That's all for now. Nico.